Before we get into today's video, I'd like to thank our sponsor, @Piera, which is a fake company whose logo I designed in Paint.net in 5 minutes. Anyway, back to the video. Are you a Minecraft player that wants a stylish, not super resource-intensive modern home in Minecraft Survival? Then you've come to the right video, because that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So the very first step is to find a prime location to build this house. I'm just going to choose this spot here in this lovely little meadow, got some nice mountains in the background, and these are the materials that you're going to need. So you're going to need white concrete, jungle planks, or you could use any other type of wood if you want to. All the materials used here are supposed to be able to be switched out, so you can substitute most of these materials with other things. I'm going to be using concrete because it's a pretty easily attainable material. Stone bricks, not as easily attainable. If you want to, you can just use stone or cobble, whatever you want. Black stained glass, doesn't have to be black. You know, you get the point. You can use terracotta for any of these, although I would stick with white concrete. So now what we're going to want to do is lay out a little frame here for our building. So we're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks out this way with the white concrete. This is going to be the base material for the entire build. It's like the primary material. So now what we're going to do is go right over to here, this block at the end of the line, and go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So you should have this L shape. So this is going to be 6 blocks, and this is going to be 7. Now we're going to want to go over to this side and go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And knock out a little gap in between those two there, and then add a block on this side. Then we're going to want to go straight back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks from this little entrance block there, and then go all the way across to where the end of the L is, right over there. Once you get to here, you just want to fill this in to make this kind of shape here. So you should be able to see sort of where this house is going, and this is just the foundation, the basic layout. So what we're going to want to do is raise this up by 2 blocks, so it should be 3 blocks tall in total, and you want to do that all the way around. Okay, now that you're done with that, the next thing we want to do is punch in some places for the windows to go. So what I'm going to do is add in a small little window right here, and then one more right there on that side. Then if we fly over to here, we want to add in another 1x2 window there. And now here I'm going to add in a pretty large window. We can go 4 blocks across, I think is a good number. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then we can add in another 1 window right there. So now we're going to want to grab some jungle stairs and place 2 upside down in front of the doorway here. What this does is it provides a nice little sort of framing for the door and keeps it indented. I'm sure most of you guys already know about this, but we'll add in the doors. And once you're done with that, I think we're actually going to add another layer of concrete on top of the existing 3 blocks, so sorry for the misdirection, but it should be 4 blocks in total from the ground up. And in case you can't tell already, I am sort of freestyling this. I don't have this all planned out, so I might go back in and change things later. So also, because we raised the roof a little bit, we can make these windows a little bit bigger. It gives us some more room to work with. Also on this side we can put in a 2x3 window right in there, and then just raise these existing windows up. So now that we've raised the roof line a little bit, we're going to want to place in these jungle slabs right here, 1 block or half a block above this window here, and then place some on top of these above it, so it should look like this. And then we want to carry this out 2 more blocks on top of it, so it should be 3 blocks in total, then add in another little drop at the end there, so it should have this sort of shape. Now what I'm going to be doing is using stone brick walls to support this little bungalow that we have here, and we can actually extend this into the wall. So just add another block on all sides there, and we should have this nice little canopy over this area. So now what we're going to want to do is place in some stone brick slabs in a line just like this to cover the whole top of that, and then add some down at the bottom. And we're going to want to extend this 1 block off of the wall there, and add 1 below. And you're going to want to do the same on the other side as well. Okay, so this is a little bit problematic, so we're going to have to get rid of this top layer of slabs in order to continue the roof line. So just get rid of those and start placing in the slabs to continue the roof. So now that you've gone up 4 levels with this roof, you want to just keep placing these in, but don't go up any more blocks. So you're going to want to add in 3 more at the end of that line. So it should have this shape. Next, we're going to want to do the same sort of roof line on the other side, so keep placing in these slabs on the end. So just do the same thing as last time, and make sure there's a little overhang here, and fill that block in with a slab on the bottom to make it look more complete. You're also going to want to go up another 4, so just continuing the same sort of pattern that we did here. So next you're going to want to place in a slab here, and another one there, and continue it up until it meets with this one. Then you're just going to want to bring this roof line all the way back, so that way it covers up the main part of the house. Don't forget to add in a little slab on the bottom of these to make it look a little bit more fluid. So once you're done with that, we're actually going to want to take out this little extra block here, so this should only be 2 blocks on top of this one, so 3 in total. Then we're going to want to place in a slab at the end of this, and then 1 more, so it should be a solid block. And then we're going to want to continue this all the way to right here. Now I really realize why I should have planned this all out. We're going to want to get rid of this line here, and actually place in a solid block there, and then continue it back even sooner. So that way there's a little bit more of a gradual transition between these 2 curves. So add in some slabs on the bottom there, and then 1 at sort of the roof, like the bottom of the roof line there, and then add in some slabs here, as well as 1 more here, and then continue that over, so it should have a little gap there. So that's the main part of the roof. You can fill in these blocks with whatever you want, really, but I'm just going to do concrete, because you know, I don't really need to add in a light source or anything in there, but if you want to, you could probably put glowstone or something if you want. So now what we're going to want to do is go to all the corners and place in a block, so that way it makes the corner slab a solid block, and then add in some stone brick walls. So now that you're done with that, the house should be looking something like this. So now what we're going to want to do is grab some gravel, or concrete powder, but you just to fill in this area here, and bring out this little gravel patch right to the corner of the house, just like so. And then extend it out 1 more block past this pillar, so it should line up with this one right here. And then add 1 more going out this way, and then 1 more like that. Fill this in, so that way it connects with the path to the door. And then add in 3 more blocks here, and then add in 4 more blocks here, and then 2 at the very end. So that way you should have something that looks like this, a nice little path up to the house and through here. But what I'm actually going to do is add in 1 more section of gravel, so that way it looks a little bit more like a path towards this direction, and then you can do the same on the other side for symmetry's sake. So now on the inside we're going to want to add in the floor. I'm going to use oak wood because it contrasts well with these other materials, and we already used jungle planks on the outside. It's totally up to you what kind of woods you want to use, but this is just what I'm going to go with for now. Okay, now that we're done with the flooring, I'm going to leave most of the interior design to you guys, because I know you guys like to customize your houses in your own way. So now that is the main structure of the house completed. What I like to do is add in a nice little pond here in front of the house. So you can just clear out a small little trench in the ground here, and just fill it up with water. If you do end up making a pond, you can just add in some lily pads here for fun, and maybe even some sugarcane just for decoration along the sides here. Now if you are in 1.14, one of my favorite things to do is place lanterns on top of these stone brick walls. It creates a really nice light source, and they're pretty discreet, and you can sort of put them everywhere for interior or exterior lighting, and they just look really good and go with almost any build. So I'm just going to scatter them around the front and sides of the house, just for some exterior lighting and potential mob proofing. Now, if you have enough resources to get some leaves, all you really need are shears, but I highly recommend just putting in some foliage around the house. It gives it a really nice sort of earthy feel to it, and just really livens it up and add some details on the more flat walls. So I'm just going to create a small little hedging here and there to add another element of detail to the house. So you can place them upside down stairs and create this nice little overhang that adds some extra depth to the house. So now something that I always like to do whenever I have sort of a bungalow area like this is just a nice little bonus feature. I like to put in some stairs facing this way, and then you can put in pistons with redstone torches below them to make a nice little table here. Just nice little sort of additive. If you have the resources to make pistons, then I highly suggest this. Then we can add in maybe one more table right here. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna leave the interior up to you guys. But this is the main bulk of the house. You can always change out parts. It doesn't have to be exactly like the tutorial. You know, it's good to be able to customize it yourself a little bit. But this is a pretty, basic house. Doesn't take too many resources. This will probably end up being maybe your second or third house. But, you got space for some crafting, maybe a little basement if you want to add in a ladder in the corner, or a piston elevator if you're really fancy. But, it's just basic and sufficient. And, I mean, in my opinion, it doesn't look half bad here, too, with the mountain scenery. So, anyway, thanks for sitting through my tutorial. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. And anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to have a good day. And yeah, now that I'm done using cheesy quotes, yeah, I'll see you guys later.